Alright, hey, Smiggy here, and welcome to the installation portion of the EcoHitch for the Rav4, more specifically the Rav4 Prime, okay, or 5th generation Rav4, 2019 to 2021 so far. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and install this bad boy. There's a couple, it's a little more complicated than most normal hitches because you have to do some kind of trimming, okay, that's the part that makes it the hardest, okay. Okay, so to help with that, I made a stencil, okay? We're going to be using this stencil to mark the bumper for what we're going to cut out, all right? Yeah, I don't know if it's too small or too, I guess if it's too big, it's okay, okay? So we don't want it too small because then it'll rub on it, all right? And so I did all the calculations and everything. The manual says, gives you a specific size, all right? And for the hybrid, it's different, all right? So for the regular RAV4, it's different. And the hybrid, I'd imagine this one is probably very similar to the hybrid RAV4. So you have to cut actually more than the regular RAV4, okay? But this is what we're going to be cutting out right here, all right? It's probably a good idea to cut it a little bit short, and then you can just use a grinder to make it a little bit longer is what I'm going to say, okay? Okay, but it's pretty simple. You just attach 4 bolts, but we got to lower the exhaust, and then we got to cut out this piece of the bumper, okay? And I'll show you the calculations I made to do it, all right? Okay, we're going to quickly go through the manual, and I'm going to go through the measurements, okay? So that's your inventory. We did it last night, but you should have the receiver hitch, that bracket for the plugs, a 1/2-inch flat washer, and then an M12 split lock washer, and then a 1/4-inch button head bolt, all right, a 1/4-inch flat washer, and then the 2 nylon luck nuts, and then that really long Allen wrench, okay? And we have all of that. So that should be the first thing you do when you take this out. You got to inventory it, okay? First step, it says you've got to remove the exhaust on both sides of the vehicle. Use a lubricant such as WD-40 or equivalent to loosen the rubber exhaust bungs, lower the exhaust, and support it with a stand or block of wood, wire, or other support. I think I'm going to use a jack. I'm going to use a jack is what I'm going to use. All right. Also, I put you saw in that video clip that I put my RAV4 on ramps, okay? I use the lowest ramps that I have, okay? Don't want to make it too tall because then you're gonna have to lift the hitch up higher, okay? But I felt it was a little bit too low to work with, okay? Okay, now so it says, so here's the important part. Locate and mark the center on the bumper fascia by measuring the distance between 2 tabs on the bottom edge of the bumper fascia. See figure 2.1. all right, make sure to unclip. And okay, if you have the kick sensor, mine doesn't have that, okay? If you have a kick sensor for your bumper, you need to take that out or something, okay? If you guys don't know, one of the good things about this hitch is it's one of the higher hitches, okay? So it's going to be up on the bumper higher. The receiver tongue part, the part that receives the ball mount, it's actually higher up in the bumper. And that's a good thing because it'll give you more clearance in the back, all right, or better departure angle if you're backing up like a driveway or something. You won't scrape, all right. You see a lot of those minivans and the cars, they have those problems, like when you put a big hitch on it with a big receiver, it will scrape on the ground, all right. So this one is a little bit higher than the other ones, okay. A lot of them, I think they just come up down here, all right. This one we have to trim the bumper so it's a little higher. And that's a good thing. I do know the Toyota one, the OEM Toyota one, is higher. Like, I think it's like right here. So yeah, it's like all the way right here. This one's a little bit lower than that. All right. So this one is like kind of the middle of the road, and this one is the beefier one. All right. This is the beefiest one you can get. It's a class 3 hitch. Okay. I think the other ones are only like class 2s. So this one can handle the most weight. All right, okay, but you're only limited by the vehicle, what the vehicle can do. Okay, so it's kind of pointless. So So here's my calculations that I made, all right? But it said you have to mark the center part, all right? I've already done that. So I'll show you how I did that, all right? So to mark the center point of the bumper, you need to measure between the two tabs like it's saying right here, okay? So measure and mark the center. So what I use is I use a ruler. I use a ruler, all right? Man, this bumper is shiny. I use a ruler, and then I measured from this tab right here, the edge of this tab, to the edge of this tab right here, okay? You got these tabs right here, all right? And then I took that measurement, I think it was like about 120 centimeters or something. 120 millimeters. Oh, okay. Yeah, right. So here's my calculations. All right, so I took this ruler and I measured between like those tabs that I was talking about, all right? That one and that one there. All right, and I got 29.7 centimeters or 297 millimeters, okay? And I divided that by 2, and that gave me 148.5 millimeters. Okay, so if you have a very similar RAV4 to mine, then you can probably use these measurements, okay? But I would say you should do your own measurements first, okay? And then that gave me 148.5 millimeters. All right, so what I did was I measured from here out 148.5 millimeters. All right. And I marked it with a silver pen, okay? One of those silver markers. And that's what this mark is, okay? That's the center mark. Okay? And then even before that, what I did is I made this stencil, okay? So the cutout, they tell you, I don't know why they couldn't just give you something like this or like a sticker to put on the bumper, okay? But anyway, so from the center, draw a 2 5/8 Z triangle, rectangle, as shown in figure 3.1, right? That's right there. Okay, basically this. All right, you're going to be cutting that out. So that 2 5/8 comes out to 2.625 inches. All right, and then I converted that to millimeters, and I divided that in half. Okay, well, that gives you the center mark. Okay, so I cut out this here. Okay, 66.675 millimeters, and I actually cut out the cardboard that it came with, so you can actually use this stuff. I'm using it as a mat right now too. Makes a great mat. Okay, and then so that was 66.675 millimeters. All right, and then the middle, the halfway is 33.3375. all right, so I drew that down the center. All right, that's your halfway point. So you're gonna use this line here, all right, to line up with that mark right there, okay? That mark right, this mark right there, okay? And then it should be 4 3/4 long for the hybrid models, okay? And then it's 4 inches for the non-hybrids, okay? But so since I have a hybrid plug-in one, I hope it's the same as the hybrid one. It's 4 3/4. So 4 3/4 inches equals 120.65 millimeters. So I measured out 120.65 millimeters and I cut it out. Okay, and then I got this rectangle here. Okay, so we're going to be using this as a stencil to mark the bumper for what we're going to cut. And yeah, I think if you mess up, it's not a big deal. It's under there. You're not really going to see it. Okay, but just try your best to get it fairly close. So what to say, okay? Okay, so what I'm gonna do next is we're gonna go trim the bumper. Okay, what we're gonna do before I mark the bumper is we're gonna put some tape on it, all right? Like they show in the manual, all right? The area should be a little bit bigger than what we're cutting. All right, and you should probably use painter's tape. Okay, so did you get that? So I just put tape on the bumper, all right? And then what I did is I transferred that mark onto here with the black pen. All right, so there's a close-up of it. Okay, that's our center mark right there. Okay, another way you can tell if you're close to the center is what I'm noticing right now. There's a little cutout here that's right in the center of this metal right here. It looks like it lines up right in the center, so that looks like good. We're good. Okay. All right. Okay, so what we're gonna do next, let's get our stencil here that I made. All right. And you could just freehand this like the manual tells you, okay, but I'm gonna do it this way. All right, so what I'm gonna do is line up that center mark we made, all right, with the line that we made on the bumper, all right, and try to square it up somehow. I'm gonna just use the edge and make sure it's flat, okay? Okay, so what I'm gonna use is the top edge to tell me if it's square, okay? Okay. That looks pretty good. All right, I'm gonna go draw our line. It looks like it's the whole, pretty much the whole bumper, the whole lower part of the bumper. Okay. Okay. So what I'm going to use to cut it is the good old Dremel with the cutting wheel. Okay. This is one of those. It says plastic on it. All right. It's kind of hard to read, but it says for cutting plastic. It's really thin. Okay. So I'm going to try to cut like right in the middle of the black line. Okay. I'd imagine this is shorter than the black line. So. Okay. Wish me luck. And make sure you wear safety glasses. Okay. So we're going to cut, yeah, straight down here and then right across at the edge of the bumper. All right. Oh, I'm going to cut it to my brand new car, man. Gotta be done. Alright, ta-da, there it goes. It took me like 20 minutes to do it. I watched Alex on Autos do this, and he made it look really easy with the knife. So maybe the knife was the better way to go. What I might do is I'm gonna get a grinder and clean out some of this. Actually, did really good on this side. This side, there's a lot of that melted plastic, so I'm gonna clean this up a little bit, and then we'll go drop the muffler. Okay? All right. Yeah. So there's a close-up of my handiwork there. Okay. I think we did pretty good. It's pretty hard to mess up, guys, okay? Even if you kind of messed up a little bit, I think it's okay, you know? Because it's like, it's all the way down there. You're really not going to see it. Okay, if you made a mistake and you cut something, you know? All right. Okay, so I've gone ahead and cleaned everything up. I've got the stool here, all right, a plastic stool to catch the muffler, all right. So we're gonna lower this a little bit so we'll get more room to work on this. So let's see here. So what you want to take out is the right side and the left side is what according to the manual, okay. So there's this one right here. You can either push the donut off of the hanger, or you can unbolt the hanger. I'm gonna try to push it off the hanger. If your vehicle's kind of got some miles on it, there might be some dirt and it might be stuck in there. And so they told you to use WD-40 to try to get that out, okay? Mega's gonna try to get it out right now, okay? Oh, that was easy. There's one. Yep, you just push on it really hard, but I didn't even have to push on it really hard and it just popped out. Okay, so if yours are kind of older, you may have to use some WD-40 to get it out, but man, that popped out really easy. Here's the left one. So be careful, it might just come falling down. You might want to support it with your arm. There we go. And so it's like halfway out right now. I'm going to support it with my arm and push it out the rest of the way. Okay. And that's it. Is that as far as it's going to go? Maybe we need to do the center one too. Yeah, it doesn't really go down all that much, guys. I think we have to do the center one also. So I'm going to go ahead and do the center one also. The center one is right here. So I'm going to try to support it. So I'm going to try to pop it with one hand. Oh, there it goes. Okay, there we go. Now it goes down. Alright, and then just have something hold it. It's really crooked for some reason, probably because the exhaust pipe is on the right side, okay? Alright, so hopefully that'll give us enough clearance to get the hitch in there. Alright, now time to try to install the hitch. Alright, hopefully we cut enough of the bumper. We'll give it a whirl. Alright, so what you're going to want to do before we try to install the hitch, alright, it installs on the sides, okay? There's the 4 bolts that bolt in from the side, alright, onto the frame rail. You're going to want to take these stickers out, alright? There's 2 stickers. I was looking at them last night. So there's a sticker, like a dot sticker, right here and here, okay? You need to take that out. That exposes the threads. There's actually stickers on the other side. I think the Toyota hitch uses both sides, alright? But this hitch only uses one side. Okay, so the Toyota hitch might be better. Who say? Okay, if it's not wanting to come out, I think I'm going to use a razor blade. Okay, I'm going to try and use a razor blade to do it. Try not to scratch the paint off of the frame rail. Okay. And I think when you get a little bit of it off, pull the rest of the way off. Okay. Kind of tore in half. Okay, got it. Boom. Okay, and then you see the threads are now exposed. Okay, now it's kind of dark. Okay, so you can kind of see the threads exposed now. All right, so just kind of do that for the rest of them. All right, so I got this one right here. Okay, so I just removed a second one. So what helps is if you can get it in there like that, and then hold it in with your hand, and then peel it off like that. All right. I got lucky with this one. It came off pretty clean. I'll take the rest of them. Okay, so this side, there's much less space. There, you've got this, whatever this is here, okay? I think this is where the battery, the 12-volt battery is. So that leads me to believe we could have had, they could have put another one of these on the other side and give you a storage thing like the Prius, but they didn't. I don't know why not. They're too lazy to make it. Okay, I got both of them exposed now. All right, this one and this one. Now we're gonna go ahead and try and install the hitch. Okay, it's gonna be kind of hard for me to get a video of me installing this, but basically it's just gonna go up in here, all right? Now that the muffler's out of the way, we got plenty of space back here, okay? And then the receiver's gonna go tuck up into here, hopefully, and what you might want to do is lift it up into there and then line up the holes and then see if you cut this enough, all right? If not, you're gonna need to trim it a little more. Okay, so now's the time to do adjustments. I just want to say okay. Okay, I'm gonna see if it fits. All right. Oh my God, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. The muffler's kind of is still in the way, but just kind of maneuver it in the position. Okay, I think it fits. I'm not sure. It's so heavy, dude. I cannot get it. I cannot get it up in there. Not with this muffler in the way, too. Okay, but a good thing to do before you put the bolts in is put anti-seize compound on it, alright? So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do. Okay, so that's everything. So now what you're going to want to do is put a split lock washer, alright, on each one. Okay, and then put one of these flat washers. Okay, so now our bolts are ready to install. Okay, wish me luck. So yeah, basically just get the hitch up in there and then try to bolt it on the side here, okay? Yeah, and then make sure that that cutout is good, okay? All right. Good luck, Katie's Omega. I'm gonna try to use a jack to hold up one side. All right, I may the car might be too tall. Is what I'm saying. Well, we'll see if I can. All right, Katie's Omega here. I was able to get one of them in by myself, okay? But this one, all right, this side, there's a tow hook here, and I think the tow hook gets in the way, and it's scratched the crap out of it already, man. Look at that. The paint scratches so easily on this. Paint not very strong. It's all scratched up already. So I've got it held up by a jack right here. I think this tow hook has to come out. There was no mention of having to take a tow hook out, okay? But yeah, it's definitely getting in the way. All right, because this hole, or this hole has to match up. Yeah, it has to go straight up here, and this tow hook's getting in the way. I think you gotta ditch the tow hook. Now, the manual didn't say anything about that. Okay, so I'm kind of pissed off right now because it didn't mention anywhere in the manual to take off no freaking tow hook, okay? Maybe the Rav4 Prime is the only one that has it, all right? But yeah, okay, so what I'm gonna do is take this out. All right, it's two, I think it's two bolts. Yeah, two very large bolts. This one, okay, see it? This one here, and this one back here. I'm gonna take that out, and it's gonna be hard to take out now because the freaking hitch is in the way. I'm kind of pissed off right now because it was not easy to get that in there, and I don't want to take it out now. All right, I'll figure something out. All right, anyway, that looks like a 19 or something. Okay, here we go. All right. Oh, it's pretty easy to take out with a cheater bar. Okay, there's the tow. There's the tow hook. I took it out. It's pretty beefy. We'll see if we can put it back on after we put the hitch on. But yeah, good luck. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna give you an example of how I did it. I'm gonna kind of talk you through how I did it. All right, by myself. If you have help, definitely get help. All right, I started with the left side, and I held this side up with my knee. All right, you kind of have to maneuver it into place. You're gonna scratch stuff. Like this thing is all scratched up already. The stickers are all scratched up. I'm gonna have to get some like caliper paint or something, some kind of paint to like touch it up. Okay. But anyway, so you kind of have to maneuver it up into there. Also, before I would take this out, all right, nowhere did I see in the manual or like some online installs that you had to take this out. So maybe this is a Rav4 Prime thing, okay? Because it didn't mention anything about it in the manual to take this tow hook out, all right? It's a 19 millimeter, all right? 2 bolts, comes right out, all right? It was pretty easy. I was able to get it out with the hitch in there, okay? So you probably want to take that out first, okay? And then so what I did is I pushed it up, all right? And then, so this side is kind of like hovering up there, okay? It's kind of supported already, and then I went and got the bolts in there, all right? So I tightened the bolts in there. Okay, so what I did was I pushed it up in there, okay? I pushed it up in there, and so you can use this as exhaust hanger, okay? You can use this exhaust hanger to hold it up, all right? So that's what I was doing. I got my hand here, and I used my thumb to push it up, all right? And that I was able to hold it up like that, okay? Because I had this as a support. It's all about physics, guys. And then I took the bolt out. Oh no! And then I put the bolt in. Okay, as you can see, there's not a lot of room to work with in there. Okay, it's this little channel is what you have to work with. So this side was like twice as hard as the other side because you don't have a lot of room to work with. Okay, and you're trying to hold this big thing up, and you're in an awkward position. Yeah, the right side is a big, not fun. All right. And so I eventually was able to get that in. Once you got that in, this one kind of just stays in place, and then I got that one in there, okay? And so everything is just hand tight right now. So the holes are slotted in it, so you can move it in and out. So just kind of take a look at it. I did do a good job of trimming it. In fact, I probably trimmed it a little too much. All right, but it is pretty much, it's almost touching the bumper on the top part. So maybe I should have grinded that a little bit, but that's fine. I think that's okay. All right. So we're going to go with that. I'm pretty happy. It looks really good. Okay. So now we're going to go ahead and torque it down. So you have some front and rear adjustability. I think I'm going to push it back as much as possible. Okay. I'm going to push it all the way back. And then we're going to go torque it. Okay, guys, I don't know how we're going to torque this because there's not enough room to get a freaking torque wrench in there. but here's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna tighten it with the wrench first, okay? Okay. I push it all the way in as much as possible. We'll see if that has any problems, but I think it'll be fine. Okay, so there's 4 of these. Just get it snug right now, and then we'll torque it after. Okay. So I'm gonna use the wrench and snug them. Okay. And there's 4 of them, and it's a 19 millimeter. Haha, if you have one of these guys, it makes it a lot easier, okay? Plus it doesn't hit the exhaust. We might be able to get the torque wrench on this one. I don't think we're going to get it on that one. Okay, as you can see, this side is much easier to do than the other side. There's like nothing on this side here, guys. So much easier, all right? I did push it back all the way, didn't I? So that's as far back as it wants to go, huh? Okay. Let me double check that. Okay, so just continue to tighten. So I think what I'm going to do is reuse these dots. Okay, my Rav4 is still pretty clean, so I think these will stick. Or you can use electrical tape. So what I'm going to do is get those dots that we took out side. Just put that back in there, right over the holes. Okay. Okay. There's one. You should have 4 of them. I smashed them into the. I know I smashed them into the. I found that here. Oh. Okay. Well, I was able to salvage one. So if you can, try to keep 2 of these, but I've already pushed it into the cardboard. It's gonna mess it up. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go put electrical tape on the last one. Okay. Okay, that one right there.
Okay.
Okay, so what I'm
Save some
using to
weight,
cover
right?
the other one up is a Gorilla Tape, okay? That's what that is. This is skinnier Gorilla Tape, okay? Should work fine, okay? Should be fine. Alright, cool. There it is. Sealed up. Alright, this one is kind of peeling off a little. I'm going to go ahead and install this bracket, but after, okay? I don't think you have to do it right now. So on step 7, it says, once all the hardware is inserted, torque all M12 hardware to 70 foot-pounds, all right? So that's what we're going to do. At least that's what we're going to attempt to do. I'm going to try to use my handy old torque wrench. I have a digital one, but it kind of takes up too much space. We may be able to get this to fit in there. We'll see. It's a 19 millimeter, okay, guys? So it's 70 foot-pounds, all right? So we'll do this side first. Maybe we'll come back to this side and double check it, but let's do it this way. You gotta make things so hard, Hades Vega. Okay, there's one. It's pretty tight, 70 foot-pounds. It's like how much you would torque a lug nut to, right? Okay, go back and do this one real quick again. Okay, back to this one. Okay, all right. Now we're gonna try the other side. Okay, so what we're gonna do, the torque wrench doesn't fit in there. I already tried. So what we're gonna do is just take a wrench, all right, the biggest wrench you got, and then just tighten it as tight as you can make it. Okay, with that wrench, I think it should be okay. Alright. I hate to do it, man, but it doesn't leave me a choice. Okay. This one is hard to get in the way too. Once you put the exhaust back up in there, it's going to be even harder to get in there. Okay. Yeah, we're just gonna tighten this as tight as we can make it with the wrench, okay? 'Cause that's all we can do, man. We can't get the torque wrench in there. So what do you want me to do? Poor design, if you ask me. Really tight, man, because that other one is pretty tight. Okay. I feel that's it. Okay, now that we're done tightening everything, we're gonna go ahead and put our exhaust back on. All right here, yeah. Okay, right here. Put that up there. Hold it up with my knee. Just push it in. Boom, okay. Back in place, easy. Okay. Probably want to do that and only do it with one hand. Let's see. Yeah, okay. There you go. Put this back up there. Okay. Slip this back up. Okay. And then the final one. Okay, the final one. So also all I did was rotate it to get the hole lined up. All right. Push it in. Here's your Rav4. It's pretty new. Should be a piece of cake. Okay, there we go. Exhaust is back on. Hopefully I didn't scratch it up too much. Okay, and that's it. That's the final product right there. Okay, so now we're gonna go take all this tape off. Hopefully we did a good job. Okay, so so there you go. That's how it fits. It fits perfectly. If you cut it like they tell you to, it is right on the money. Okay. Now it is touching the top of this, so it's gonna rub on. It's gonna rub on this. So, but I think that's okay. Don't worry about it. It's not touching it too bad. So that's fine. We'll see how it is down the line if it. But to trim that again, we would have to take the hitch off again. So I don't want to do that. But yeah, it looks good. I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out. All right. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and install this plate. Okay, I don't know if we're gonna use it or not, but we'll just put it in there since they gave it to us, and then we'll try it out. Okay, when I get the wiring in there, we'll try it out. I think this is for one of the bigger ones, but I think you could put the flat 4 in here. I'm not sure. So that's how it goes. All right, guys. The plate, all right, goes underneath. Bolts go on top, and then the washer and the nuts go on the bottom. Okay, so I'll do that. Okay, there it is with the optional wiring bracket installed. All right, so they said in the manual to put the bolts from the top, but like I don't know how you're supposed to tighten that, especially with the Allen wrench. Oh, maybe it does work. You know what? I think it does work. It barely fits. Yeah, actually, you could do it. Don't think it matters. Okay, guys, doesn't matter. I did it for the bottom, all right, because it was easier to get the Allen wrench on there. I used their super long Allen wrench. Okay, it's a 4mm, by the way, and then the nut is a 10mm. It's an 11mm. Okay, so it's a SAE size. All right, but there it is. All right, it's on there. I don't know if I'm going to keep it or not, but that's how you install it. Okay, some finishing touches. I don't remember where I got this from, but it's a Toyota Hitch cover. All right, so here it is. Boom. Final answer. Here you go. All right, Hayesbig here, and there you go. I just finished installing the Torklift EcoHitch onto my 2021 Rav4 Prime SC. Okay. So these are some kind of closing comments. All right, if I was to do this again, you know, these are some things I would do. Okay, so I'm gonna say, first of all, this has to come off. All right, there is no way this thing's gonna fit on there. Okay, the tow hook. All right. Now I did read some stuff online about it, and what is it? I think the Toyota OEM hitch fits with this. Okay. And you use all 4 bolts, or all 8 bolts. Okay, this one uses 4 bolts. I do know that I think the Toyota, the OEM hitch for this, the Toyota OEM hitch uses 8 bolts. All right, this only uses 4. Okay, the outer ones. All right, and then I think it works with this. All right, because I didn't read anywhere that you have to take the tow hook off. Okay, it's easy. You just take 2 bolts off. Comes right out. It was kind of disturbingly not very tight. It was really easy to take out, so that kind of worries me a little bit. All right, it didn't even have, I don't even think it has a lock washer. It's not even a lock washer on it, guys. It's just a flat washer. Yeah, that kind of worries me. Now, also, if you want to cover up the holes, you could just put the bolts back in, but you cannot put this back in, okay? And yeah, so I think, so what makes it really hard is that the muffler is in the way, okay? You have to lower the muffler. I lowered it all the way. I think I saw some people, they just take the left and the right one out, but I took all 3 of the donuts out, all right? And then the muffler just drops a whole lot, all right? And just make sure, I use this stool, okay? A plastic stool to hold it, all right? Because there's other hangers along the way. But yeah, you're putting a lot of pressure on the exhaust piping. Yeah, so just find something to support it. And yeah, what really makes it hard is that muffler is in the way. If that muffler wasn't in the way, you can just get under it and just do like a bench press and then just get it right up in there. But no, you have to like kind of hook it up into there a little bit, okay? That's what I'm gonna say. But yeah, having this in there made it hard. All right, definitely take this off before you even try to get it up in there. I didn't know if it fits in there or not, and then I was trying, and I scratched the crap out of it with this. All right, so I'm gonna have to go get some paint and then touch it up so it doesn't rust in the future. I might as well do it now since it's still fresh and clean. What else? So making the stencil helped a whole lot. All right, if you guys want to know what the dimensions I use for this, I will put the dimensions of this in the description of the video. Okay, and so you guys can make one. All right, I use millimeters. All right, metric. To make this, and I used the cardboard that came in to make this. All right, and this is what made it easy. Okay, so and you saw how I used it. All right, and how I did the measurements and all that stuff. I guess the important one is you want to make sure you get the center measurement, okay? When you get the center one, you just stick this there and you line up the center line on it, and then you draw a line around everything. Now I think I should have cut the bumper a little bit more. It's touching the top of the hitch, but I don't want to go take it out again. I'm so lazy. Like that's fine. It can touch a little bit. I don't care, man. And then yeah, doing it by yourself is hard. If you can get a helper to help you, like a strong helper, make sure you get a strong helper, all right? Because if you got a weak one, they might drop it on you. So, but yeah, get a strong helper to help you put it up in there, all right? And then just bolt it in one at a time. The right side was much harder than the left side. The left side, there's plenty of space to do. The right side, no. Okay, and we could not torque the right side because I can't get my torque wrench in there. All right, if you can get some kind of torque, like a torque wrench, like a combination wrench type torque wrench, then that might work. But there's hardly any room to get anything in there. Maybe if you can get like a really skinny socket, you know, and put it on your torque wrench. Because I already used the skinnier torque wrench, man, and it didn't work. So yeah. So what we had to settle for was, hey, I tightened it as tight as I could with the combination wrench. Okay. And I think that'll be fine. All right. Like I said, I was only worried about it being, not tight enough. Okay, that's what you don't want. All right. And if it's too tight, I think it's fine because this frame rail can handle 70 foot-pounds. All right. I installed one of these on a Honda Pilot, and it was like 100 foot-pounds. Okay, so yeah, dude, I had a hard time doing that. The Pilot was kind of easier because it's much more spacious underneath the Pilot too. What is it? All right. What else? Yeah. So there was a lot of things that, like, you know, like the manual didn't mention to take this off. Okay, so I'm a little disappointed in that. And then the right side was a lot harder to work with than the left. The right side was harder to work with than the left side. Trimming the bumper worked pretty well. All right, I think if you just go up to here, I think it's fine. All right, where it starts to bend already, yeah, just cut it up to there, and it should be fine. If anything, like I said, I should have trimmed it a little more. And yeah, it's pretty heavy. It's pretty heavy and hard to get on there. So yeah, and I think putting it on the ramps helps. If anything, it makes it harder. It makes it a little bit harder because you have to push the hitch up in there higher. All right. But if you use your legs as like jack stands to hold it, I think you'll be okay. All right, that was a Torklift Central EcoHitch install on a 2021 Rav4 Prime SC. Okay, it may be different for other models. All right, like the adventure model, the hybrid model, the regular model. Okay, but I know specifically this one we had to take this off. Okay, and nowhere did it mention to take this off. Okay. And there's no way it's gonna fit with that. So you're gonna lose your tow hook, all right? And that's a common thing, all right? Usually these hitches they install like on the cars. They install on the tow hooks, all right? You would take the tow hook out, and that's where you would bolt the hitch onto. Okay, but this the Rav4 has provisions in the frame rails already for a hitch install. Okay. So it was designed to tow. That's what I'm gonna say. All right, not to be towed, type of thing. All right. Okay, so I will have a separate video on when I install the wiring harness. Okay, so we're kind of like 80% there. We got to go install the wiring harness, and then I'm ready to tow stuff. All right, but I haven't even broken in the motor yet, so no towing for like 500 more miles, unfortunately. Okay. All right. So thanks for watching. Here's Miguel. I hope that was helpful for you guys. I don't think I've ever seen one installed on the Rav4 Prime before. Yeah, I don't know if the hybrid is different than the Prime. For the most part, I think it would be pretty much the same as a hybrid. It's just pretty much the same vehicle, you know. So yeah, so I will at the end of this video I will have some pictures of the hitch in the daytime. Okay, I know it's all blacked out, so you can't see it too well. All right, but when I get a chance in the daytime, I will get a couple shots and put them at the end of the video. All right. Let's go. Here, so this is what it looks like in the daytime. My bumpers are like super black. All right, they're gloss black, so it really blends in. So it's actually, you really can't, you don't notice it all that much. I just want to say. Yeah, there it is. I got a couple pictures also. And just to give you an idea how good the ground clearance is with this hitch and the Rav4 Prime, I was able to drive up this driveway backwards, okay? I just did it. And it's got a pretty steep angle for the entrance. See, that's pretty steep. I wouldn't do that in the car. My Prius would definitely scrape on this. So I just went up that backwards and it did not scrape, so it's good. Cool deal, man. I love my SUV.